I just want to share how I went about deleting the DPF on this 6.4 liter truck. This thing has got 298,000 miles on it. The motor that's currently in it's got 216,000 on it at the time of the delete. This thing, I decided instead of buying a delete pipe or anything, just to cut the DPF down and basically gut it and then put it back up there. That way, if anybody ever looked under the truck or anything like that, it would never really cause a problem because the whole can is still there. The DPF and regen process on these trucks basically creates a huge problem. Dumps so much fuel into the crankcase and extra heat into the motor. I've been changing the oil on this thing at about 5,000 mile intervals, and every time I drain it I get about 19 to 20 quarts out. The engine only takes 15, so all that extra is just fuel dilution into the oil, basically just from the regen process. So getting this thing down off the truck, there's just 3 connectors you got to disconnect for the sensors on the DPF. After that, you can take down the cross shield that's underneath it, depending on how you want to take it out. I dropped the cross shield so that I can get my saw in there to cut the thing out. The first part of the can is just a catalytic converter, which is pretty easy to break out of there. It's brittle just like any other converter. But the DPF side of it, which you see right here, is hard as a rock. So I only cleared out about a 4-inch hole right down through the middle of it, which actually worked out really well because with it back on the truck now, it doesn't sound any different than before. So I guess all that material that's still in there around the hole is basically acting as a muffler. After clearing it all out, I just welded it right back up in place. I decided to go with the DPF-R DPF Delete tune, basically because it was easy and it's just a very mild tune. It's supposed to add 70 horsepower or something like that. Whether or not that's actually the case, I'm not sure. But basically, I just needed something conservative. The truck doesn't need to be real fast or anything. It just needs to run and be reliable. It takes you through a series of yes and no questions. It took about 20 minutes to install on this thing.
Thank you for choosing the Gearbox C DPF-R 4.0. Please turn the key off and unplug the DPF-R 4.0.
I recorded a couple of wide open throttle pulls before and after, and you can tell it does make a difference. I'm not sure how much power it actually picks up, but it does seem noticeable. I think the fuel mileage has gone up about 1 mile to the gallon since having done all this. I'm guessing that's mostly in the timing of the tune. But I'll update back sometime later in the future about how it goes with this thing and with the fuel mileage numbers, since that could also be a major benefit considering these things are kind of thirsty. Anyways, I hope this was interesting. I'm pretty interested to see if this is going to be a worthwhile step into trying to keep these 6.4s on the road.